So, what is the purpose of learning active and passive voice? So, we can say like this: active and passive voice is an essential grammar that helps students to express ideas clearly and effectively. It allows them to construct sentences consciously and emphasizing either the doer of or the receiver of an action. In active voice, the subject perform the action. That means in active voice, the subject is the doer of action, but in passive voice, the subject receives the action. So that is the difference between active and passive voice. In this chart, we can see the sentences like Ram killed Ravan. So here in first sentence, that means in active voice, we can emphasize what subject does. That means the subject is nothing but Ram. So we give importance only the subject Ram. So that is active voice. When it comes to as passive form, we give importance to the action. That means the subject it becomes the receiver of an action. Okay. So here we can see 12 tenses. In 12 tenses, only 8 tenses have its passive equivalents or passive form. So these 8 tenses are simple present tense, present continuous, present perfect, simple past, and past continuous, past perfect, simple future, and future perfect. So these 8 tenses are having only passive equivalents or passive forms. So remaining 4 tenses like future continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous do not have passive equivalent. Now we are going to see the first tense, simple present. In simple present, we can take an example like I write a letter. So it is a small sentence. So we can divide this sentence into three categories. First, when you want to, for example, if you want to convert the active voice into passive, first you have to divide the sentence into three categories. It is nothing but subject, verb, and object. So in our sentence, I write a letter. The first word I, so it is a subject. The second word write, so it is a main verb. Third one here, letter, it is nothing but an object. So when you change the active voice into passive, first you have to write the object as subject. For example, the word a letter is an object in active voice, but you have to write that word as a subject in passive form. So first you have to write the object as subject to a letter. Then second rule is you have to add be form verb. That means auxiliary verb. So in simple present, we can use the auxiliaries or is or are. Okay, these two auxiliaries we can use when you change the simple present into passive form. Okay, so here we can use the auxiliary verb is, and then the main verb which should be used as B3 form. Okay, so right it becomes written, and then we have to add the agent by, and then the subject it becomes as object. So the I becomes me. Okay, so these are the basic rules to change the active voice into passive. So in this chart we can see how the subject it becomes that means when you change the subject I in passive form, I become me. So likewise, the similar subjects, it becomes, uh, for example, we become as, you become you, they become them, he become him, and the she become her. Then if it is a name, you can use as it is. Okay. So next, you can see a list of tenses and rules how we can change the active voice into passive. I already told you, when you change the simple present tense into passive, first you have to write the subject as object, and you have to add be form verb, and then the main verb should be in V3 form, and you have to add by, and subject become object. So the same uh, rules we can apply for the remaining tenses also. So the only thing is uh, the usage of auxiliary verb will be differ according to the tenses. Okay. For example, if you change the past continuous tense into passive form, there you should use the auxiliary was being or were being. So if it is present perfect, you have to use have been or has been. If it is past perfect, you have to use had been. If it is future perfect, you have to use shall have been or will have been. So similar things you have to follow. Then next, impersonal passive. In impersonal passive, subject is not a specific person or entity, and the focus is on the action or process rather than the performer. So it may be describing general facts, or when reporting general information, or expressing opinions or beliefs, etc. Example, the bridge was built. Here, uh, the subject is not a specific person or entity. Okay. So the bridge was built means it may be built by a government or an organization. Okay. So there is no need to use the personal entity. Okay. And the next sentence, it is said that the new policy will be implemented next month. Okay. So it is that said, that means it's a common instruction. It's a common statement. So there is no need to mention the person or personal entity. Okay. So